Because now I don't have a way of knowing if you can see me or not until I go look for myself. Oh, looks like I'm talking to nobody maybe. Let me see here. Okay. Now it looks like we're turned on. Hooray! So, Shabbat Shalom. It's good to be back with you. Let me put on my microphone so that I don't have to shout all the time. I like to use my indoor voice. Okie doke. Here we go. Now can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Whoa, I just got really loud.
So how about we start off with our family Shabbat. And we can start off by singing how good it is for us to be together. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Yalalai, yalalai, hine ma tov, hine ma tov. Yalalai, yalalai, hine ma tov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. And how about we take out our hands, shake them, put them in the air, and let's take out our bim. And take out our bomb. And let's put our bim on our bomb, and our bomb on our bim, and our bim on our bomb, and our bomb on our bim, and our bim on our bomb, bim, bim, bim. I'm already lost. And sing bim, bum, bim, 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 bum, bim, 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 bum, cheery, berry, berry, bim, bum, bim, 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 bum, bim, 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 bum. Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Whew. I'm feeling warmed up now. And so, I don't know, maybe we can now light our Shabbat candles. One little, two little Shabbat candles. One little, two little Shabbat candles. One little, two little Shabbat candles on my Shabbat table. What do they do next? They dance little Shabbat candles. Dance little Shabbat candles. Dance little Shabbat candles on my Shabbat table. Oh, now this is the sad part of the song. Melt little Shabbat candles. Melt little Shabbat candles. melt little Shabbat candles on my Shabbat table. Well, I'll be lighting my Shabbat candles later, and whenever I celebrate Shabbat, I like to make sure that I have lots of family and friends with me. It's never Shabbat without my family and friends. Now I'm doing that more over Zoom so that we don't get sick. But I always have, right around now, a friend who comes and joins me. Where is he? Well, I think I just heard a knock. Let's listen again. Let's see here. Up there he is. It's my friend, Shabbatosaurus Rex. Shabbatosaurus Rex, how was your week? You had a long week. What were you doing all week? You were preparing for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Me too. That's what I was doing. Well, those are coming up really soon. Those are some big Jewish holidays. But how about we sing your favorite song? There's a dinosaur knocking on my door. Knocking 1, 2, 3. There's a dinosaur knocking on my door, and he wants to spend Shabbat with me. First we drink the wine. Wait, Shabbatosaurus Rex, we don't drink the wine first. We don't eat the challah first. Yeah, we light the candles first. First we light the candles, then we drink the wine. Glug, glug, glug. Then we eat the challah. Yum! It always tastes so fine. There's a dinosaur knocking on my door. Knocking 1, 2, 3. There's a dinosaur knocking on my door, and he wants to spend Shabbat with me. Well, now that we're spending Shabbat together, a big part of Shabbat for me is getting to pray. So now that we've warmed up our voices, I'm ready to pray. Are you ready to pray, Shabbatosaurus Rex? You're ready to pray too. Then let's turn and face the ark for our call to prayer, the Baruch Hu. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach. Hamevorach leolam va'ed. Hamevorach. Hamevorach leolam va'ed. You may take a seat on your tushy. What song should we sing next? How about we sing next a special, how about we sing a psalm? What's a psalm? A psalm is a very, 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 very old blessing or prayer or just really poem that talks about how great God is. So let's choose a psalm. You know, the special place I once went to was Lebanon, and it was very beautiful there. Lebanon's right next to Israel. It's a neighbor of Israel. And I'm going to tell a story later about being nice to your neighbors. And so maybe I'll sing a song that talks about Lebanon and how beautiful it is. This is in the Bible. Sadikata mar yirach ke'erez balvanon yizkei shetulim beveit Adonai Bechatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu Od Yinuvim B'Seva Deshenim V'Ra'anim Yehiyu L'Hagid Ki Yashar Adonai Tzuri Velo Avlatabo. How about we sing now maybe our most important prayer? It's the one that talks about how there's only one God and God is everywhere. So let's cover our eyes. Sometimes people like this word that we're about to say, Shema, which means listen. It starts with a shin, like shh, be quiet so we can listen. And so sometimes a shin looks like this. It looks like if you put your 3 middle fingers up, that looks like a shin. We can cover our eyes so that we are very, very focused and sing these words that talk about how there's only one God. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha B'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'techa avaderech u'shachbecha u'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'einenecha u'ktabtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha. That's a song about how we should love God. I love God a lot. Do you, Shabbatosaurus Rex? You do? Why do you love God so much? Oh, because God gives you lots of trees and grass that you can play in as a dinosaur? That makes sense. I love God because I have a great community and I have special friends like you. And also back home, I have 2 puppies. They make me really happy. And I have a really wonderful wife. Those are all reasons that every day I say, thank you, God, for giving me such wonderful things in my life. Well, one of the wonderful things in my life is that I get to be free. Our ancestors, they didn't get to be free. They didn't get to go to school or have fun or anything like that. They were what were called slaves, where they were forced to do hard work all the time and got paid nothing. And if they got tired, people would be mean to them and hit them even. And God saw this and said, this is no good. And so God freed our ancestors from Egypt. And when they left Egypt, they were so excited that they sang this song asking, who is like you, God? And of course, there's nobody like God. It was kind of a silly question because they already knew the answer. There's no one in the world exactly like God, but we can each try and be nice and compassionate like God is too. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha ne'edar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele. Malchutecha ra'u vanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'elianu ve'amru, ze'elianu ve'amru. Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'ed. Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'ed. Well, now that we've talked about how amazing God is, let's stand up and take some time to thank God and give God some prayers. Anananananana Adonai. Ananananana Svatai Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana Svatai Tiftach. Ananananana Ufi Yagid. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips so my mouth can declare your praise. Okay, at this time, I want you to think about some good things in your life that you can say thank you to God for, or maybe something that you hope for. I wonder, what did you pray for? Did you thank God for maybe your brother or your sister, if you have one, or a mom or a dad, or for friends, or for animals? Those are all things that God is responsible for making, that we can say thank you for. Or maybe you asked for something, like maybe you asked for a new dog or a new brother or sister, or maybe you said, I hope that someday nobody will be sick anymore and we can go out and play again. That's what I like about God, is that I have the chance to thank God for beautiful things in my life, but also I can still ask God for things too. And maybe I can help God in making our world a better place. So with that said, how about I tell a story? This comes from the Torah this week. Well, it's inspired by something in the Torah. Do you know what a mitzvah is? A mitzvah is a commandment or good deed. And there are in the Torah over 600 mitzvahs. Over 600 commandments. And this week, we learn about over 70 of them. There's so many commandments. But this is a story of one of my favorites. So one day, there was a girl, and her name was Shelley. And Shelley went to school with another girl named Anna. And Shelley and Anna did not like each other at all. At all. They always got in arguments. They never shared their toys with one another. And Shelley did not invite Anna to her birthday party, and Anna did not invite Shelley to her birthday party. These two just did not get along. Have you ever had anyone like that in your life where you go, that kid's mean. I don't really like him, or I don't really like her. Well, that's what Shelley and Anna thought about each other. Well, one day, Shelley was walking in the park with her friend Stephanie. And Shelley and Stephanie were walking and walking and walking. And lo and behold, what did they see? They saw a Shabbatosaurus Rex just sitting out on the ground. And Stephanie said, that looks like that toy dinosaur that Anna is always playing with. And Shelley said, you're right, it does look like that. And they went a little further and they looked. And on it, there was a tag, and it said, property of Anna. That's Anna's dinosaur. She must have lost it, they said. And they said, well, what should we do? Should we give it back to her? Stephanie looked at Shelley and said, no way. We don't like Anna. And that's her problem. She can go find it on her own. And so Stephanie and Shelley kept walking. Well, they walked a little further, and they heard a little sound. Did you hear that? Shelley asked Stephanie. Stephanie listened. And she listened and listened, and she heard a little sound. It sounded like woof, 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 woof. Well, they looked, and in the bushes, there was a little puppy. And it had a collar on it. And they looked at the collar, and it said right on the collar, Fluffy. My name is Fluffy, and my owner's name is Anna. Anna lost her dog too? Well, Shelley was starting to feel a little badly and said, Stephanie, maybe we should bring these back to Anna. Stephanie looked at Shelley and said, Are you out of your mind? We don't like Anna. That's her problem. And so they walked back home. Well, the next day, they saw Anna at school, and Anna was crying. What's wrong, Anna? Well, Anna looked at Shelley and said, Why do you care? We're not friends. And Shelley said, Anna, tell me what's wrong. I don't want to see anyone crying. Well, Anna whimpered, I lost my favorite toy, my toy dinosaur. I don't know where it is. And then my brand new puppy ran away. And it's probably out and scared and hungry, and I don't know what to do. Shelley felt terrible. She said, I could have stopped all of this pain, and I could have made Anna feel better. And what if that was my toy or my puppy? I bet I would have appreciated if Anna returned those to me. Well, as soon as school ended, Shelley and Stephanie ran to the park. And lo and behold, Anna's dinosaur was right where they had seen it. They grabbed it, and then they went over to the bushes, and they started shouting, Here, Fluffy! Fluffy, come! Come here, Fluffy! And they waited and waited, and they shouted again, Fluffy, where are you? And then in the distance, they heard a woof. I think I hear it. Come here, Fluffy. And look, Fluffy, the little puppy, ran excitedly up to Shelley and Stephanie and started to lick their faces. They picked up Fluffy, and they went to Anna's house and knocked on her door. And they said, Anna, look what we found. It's Fluffy and Shabatosaurus. Anna couldn't believe it. She said, she broke out into a big smile and even started crying. She was so happy. She said, Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I've been so scared and so sad. But then she asked them, Stephanie, Shelley, we're not really friends. Why did you do something nice for me? Well, Stephanie and Shelley looked at her and said, Anna, it says in the Torah, if you find something that belongs to somebody else, even if they're not your friend, you're supposed to return it because it's the nice thing to do. Well, Anna was so touched by this and said, I know that we haven't always gotten along, but I see that you're now really nice people. Do you think that maybe we could start to be friends? Well, Shelley and Stephanie said, That sounds really nice, Anna. Let's go and be friends. And from that day forward, the three of them were always together. They were always best friends. And they learned to come together by being nice to one another and returning lost property. So if you ever find something that belongs to another kid who's maybe lost it, a nice thing to do, a mitzvah, a good deed, is to return their toy or their shirt or their jacket or their puppy, whatever it is. But that's the nice and Jewish thing to do. Thanks for listening to my story. Let's open the ark and see where I keep my favorite book, the Torah. Let's stand up and talk about how God loves us so much that God gave us this very special book. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol latekidu laliotzer breshit shehu notei shamayim v'yoser aretz u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al shinat uzo b'gov hei meromim hu Eloheinu einod va'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh Baruch Hu. Well, thank you for joining me for another Shabbat. I think we will finish by singing a song. And after having story time, spending time with my friend Shabbat Source Rex, and praying, I go home with a great Shabbat feeling. And right now, I have that Shabbat feeling up in my rosh. I got that Shabbat feeling up in my rosh. Up in my rosh. My head up in my rosh. I've got that Shabbat feeling up in my rosh. Up in my rosh today. Shabbat Source Rex, where do you have the Shabbat feeling? In your lev, in your heart, I've got that Shabbat feeling deep in my lev, deep in my lev, deep in my lev. I've got that Shabbat feeling deep in my lev, deep in my left today. You know, I start to feel it in my knees, in my birkayim. I've got that Shabbat feeling in my birkayim, my knees, and down in my birkayim, down in my birkayim. I've got that Shabbat feeling down in my birkayim. Down in my birkayim today. Well, now I've had it in my rosh, my head, my lev, my heart, and my birkayim, my knees. It's like I have it all over me. I've got that Shabbat feeling all over me, all over me, all over me. I've got that Shabbat